All praise Yahweh Shemir Shabbat Kakadash. This relates to news. Continue news. It's a little bit yesterday. China flips U.S. debt all-time low, 2009. Affleck cyber attack. Sensitive information being compromised, like I was saying the other day. Apple, Google, and Facebook and other entities. Also, passwords being compromised. That's been going on for a while. IKEA, I believe, is laying off 20,000 workers. So these companies laying off dozens of workers. It was IKEA on that video. And other tech companies and different things. So that's a continuation relating to people getting laid off. Of course, Benjamin Netanyahu relating to wars relating to war. And you have strikes relating to Haifa. You have Komahar doomsday missile, I believe, if I'm pronouncing it right. And they also have a relating to SUICIDE, relating to forms of kamikaze type drones that were used by I believe Iran against Israel. So continuing back and forth strikes. This is a major prophecy, but it's not. It's one, but it's still many others, such as the MOTB, Revelations 13, Jacob's trouble, entering that. You have the rumors of wars here and the rumors of wars, But this goes to relating to the proxy and simulation relating to War 3, which we're seeing. We see in the beginning stages. OpenAI, which is a company $200 million contract with defense build, relating to building AI, artificial intelligence, for national security purposes. And there's another company, I start with Anduril, which goes to infiltrating, incorporating, relating to augmented reality with AI technology. Somebody posted that up relating to that. So that's relating to working on, Army augmented, which means increase, enhancement, relating to forms of reality with a mixture of artificial intelligence, pretty much enhancing it. 3D 1,000 times 1,000, So the AI technology that relates to battlefield war, enhancement and incorporating that where it can be useful in wartime battle, So, to connect with that. You have today's news. That was some of this I got from Newsmax and NTD, which is New Tang Dynasty News. Let's see. Let's see what I got. All right. Now the BB Bunker Buster, which is a missile that's going to come out of a B-2 type of, stealth bomber, airplane. To destroy the last relating to Iranian nuke facility, and you seeing different facilities being targeted. You had a research nuclear facility being targeted, different ones. Goes to the BB or bunker or the bunker buster, in a matter of speaking. That's what I'll call it. Canada reacts to the drop in U.S. tourists. So tourism is being affected, whether in Canada and also here in the United States as well, man. Pakistan wants to nominate Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. That was on a report. Now, those same BOMBERS They're moving to Guam relating to the tensions in the so-called Middle East or West Asia. Now, Trump says it's going to be very hard to convince Benjamin Netanyahu to stop strikes against Iran, obviously, because it was a video, Man of Truth says, pretty much he's asking, one of them late night hosts asking Benjamin Netanyahu why y'all pretty much secede what y'all do. We say we got U.S. And there was another video that says Israel owns U.S. So I think that's enough said on that, you know what I mean? But continue news. You have VP J.D. Vance warning to governors. He said, control the riots or the feds will act. So if the governors of the respective cities, they can't control the rioters, then the federal government will do it for you, or the feds will do it for you. Now, the GOP food stamp plan violates the Senate rules, man. And you have something talking about Saudi Arabia and Iran. Saudi Arabia condemning relating to Israel, relating to attacking Iran. You know what I mean? Saudi Arabia don't like Iran. You know what I mean? And really, if it attacks Iran, it affects all the interests respectfully around it, man. So, of course, they don't want to see a broader, more escalation, man, because now, directly affects a lot of people around there, man. The Arab states, respectfully around there. That's what Qatar, that's what the one major Saudi princes, the princes relating to Qatar, was talking about on that video, because it'll start affecting them, you know what I mean? So they don't want to see a broader escalation relating to this war, man. Now, Trump relating to MAGA hates to Fox News. So Fox News should be one of the best relating to the MAGA. You haven't, let's continue on relating to more news and see what happens. Let's go to the scriptures real quick. Go to 2nd Ezra 16. Now you have, let me see what 16 says about 2nd Ezra. Get it right now. Might have to get it from a GNT. It's a different version. The beginnings of groaning and of abundance of sighing, the beginnings of famine, and many will perish, the beginnings of wars, and powerful ones will be afraid, the beginning of disasters, the beginnings of disasters, and all will be terrified. And that's the point. So famine, sorrows, mourning, wars. What shall happen? What shall I do when these evils come? You know what I mean? So it's telling you all these different things that's going to happen. Famine, wars, sorrows, you know what I mean? And different things. So these are the beginnings of it, man. Scripture talks about relating to rumors of wars, and for example, hearing of wars, rumors of wars, but it's not the end. These are just the beginning. We in the latter beginning stages of these things, man. From a continuance, man. So that's what 19. What will they do when the disasters come? That's a question. what's the majority of people going to do? They're going to be terrified, scared, man. You know, chaos, different things, man. Because this country, they're not used to that, man. This country is very spoiled and privileged, man. You know what I mean? They're not used to adversity and hardship. You know what I mean? They're not used to that. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a major shock, to say the least, for majority of the populace relates to the people, man, when these things come. Especially here, because they don't think these things, the last thing people think that certain things will ever touch here, man. They don't believe that. You know what I mean? And what will they do when the disasters come? Look at a plague of famine has been sent out, and the stress it inflicts like a whip. And that's a tool, a scourge used for punishment, man. That whip is that tool being used to implement punishment, man. And the famine, the disasters and different things are like that whipping stone of forms of judgment, man. And the punishment for the discipline. This is a NLT version, so let's go to 19. I'll show it real quick. This is 19 here. Like a whip, a punishment for discipline, but in the midst of all these, they will not turn their sins and won't keep the plagues in mind. So they won't be mindful of certain things that's going on, man. So that's the blindness that's put over the people, that darkness. That's part of that, not seeing the obvious, man. Look, in a short time, provisions, which goes to victual supplies, will be so cheap on the earth that people will think that peace has been established for them. And that's smoking mirror, that's a smoking gun, and also that's that form of a false peace and safety, man. You know, looking like certain things that may get back to normal, that's a facade, man. But then disasters will blossom all over the earth, the sword and famine. And they will lack life's necessities, and the sword will scatter those that survive the famine, and the dead will be tossed out like dung on the ground, and there will be no one to console, to comfort, mourn, etc. Because of the state and condition, things that's going to be happening. They ain't going to have time for it. And for the earth will be left abandoned. Isaiah 24:10 through 12, talking about city in chaos and desolation. And the city will be cast down. The city will be cast down. So these are the things that's going to happen, man. You're seeing it. You know what I mean? This was, let me see what this was. Well, that was Common English version, CEB. Let's continue with the news. Scripture talks about Psalms that fall 10,000 by thy left and on our right hand side, but it shall not come near thee. So that's how the body's going to be. They're going to be as dung, man. People are going to fall. You know what I mean? You know, relating to the things that's going to be happening, man. Let's continue with more news. It's quick news. Israel-Iran news. Iranian nuclear research struck. What I was talking about. Trump breaks the intelligence community. The B2 BOMBs, ERS, they moving to Guam, like I was saying, because of the because of the tensions in the Middle East. President Trump's not convinced that Iran has a nuclear bomb. In 2 weeks, he's supposed to make a decision relating to doing certain things as well. Minnesota. Okay. Wounded Iranians describe Israel strike in Tehran. So Tehran, the strikes in Tehran. You had an incident, eight deleted, 13 injured. Hot air balloon crash, Brazil. Israel accuses Iran of attacking civilians, saying Iran's supreme leader cannot exist. That's what Benjamin Netanyahu is saying. He's pushing that. This relates to J.D. Vance relating to meeting with warning governors relating to these widespread protests. You know, Scripture talks about they should take the course of the actions and should not regard the kings and princes, man. So you're seeing the people protest against what? The policies, the system, how things are operationally run. I was looking at a video they were talking about the congressional appropriation committee relating to Scott Turner, relating to the HUD secretary. Pretty much they were grilling him, and they were pretty much on his case relating to how is cutting relating to the housing, HUD cutting relating to the funding going to be beneficial relating to helping the most vulnerable. And they were grilling him, and he didn't have pretty much no answer. He was giving a lot of fancy words and the smooth talk, but he didn't have no concrete solution relating to you're going to decrease the money relating to funding, and that's supposed to be beneficial. Cut the funding in half, but it's supposed to be beneficial as far as helping the ones who's going to be the most vulnerable. So they were grilling him. He said, "Where's your concrete plan?" You know what I mean? So, and where's your concrete plan? So he didn't have none. You know what I mean? He was just using a lot of fancy words just to push this thing. And pretty much the appropriation, which is in charge of funding, says you need to have a plan and how it's going to work. You know what I mean? Because they want to cut the funding for that, where federal government pays a little bit less, where they put it on more on the states, and the states are already strapped. You know what I mean? States are already strapped anyway, as far as earmarks or money relating what they're going to spend for. So the federal government is putting more in the states where they don't have to come out of pocket as much, and that's the whole point. So they were grilling him relating to that video, and that goes to the increased homelessness that's going to be, which you're already seeing, affordable housing crisis and different things. So so the times we're living in, Scripture says, know this, in the last days perilous times shall come. So the perilous goes to trouble, and trouble goes to evils, bad and troublesome times, man. You're going to see a lot of increase of homelessness. You know what I mean? You're going to see a lot of increase of different things. You know what I mean? These are just the beginning things. These are parts of the beginnings. These are parts of the beginnings. You know what I mean? So, increase of homelessness. You know what I mean? Scott Turner is a puppet for Trump. You know what I mean? He's just doing what Trump wants him to do. Cuts. You know what I mean? That's it. You know what I mean? He has no plan. So he's put it like that. You know what I mean? So he just being a puppet for Trump, doing as he pulling the strings and doing what he's supposed to do. So the point is, you know what I mean, Trump's goal is to make cuts. You know what I mean? If he had it his way, he would cut a lot of these social programs. You know what I mean? And that's what he wants to do. He wants to make cuts, man. So, but the point is, we're in bad times. You know what I mean? We're in bad times. So evil in bad times. You know what I mean? The scripture says that, man. These are parts of the beginnings of different things, man. World War III, incrementally building. Jacob's trouble, scripture says, alas, alas, there never been a time since Jacob's trouble, but ye shall be saved from it, out of it. Jeremiah 30:7. So that's the beginning stages of Jacob's trouble. Increase of ICE, protests with the ICE, also an increase relating to the rest, affecting a certain group of people. Go to Jeremiah, talk about relating to the northern southern tribe, they shall be in captivity together, paraphrasing. You know what I mean? So you're seeing them more in flux. Now they're being affected more because, you know, they're part of that. They're part of that relating to go to Ezekiel 37, which goes to the two sticks, which is the northern and southern tribe. They become as one stick, which equals one nation, man, which is the nation of Israel. So now the northern tribe is being affected relating to these ICE fiascos and situations. So now they're getting their form of Jacob's trouble in the matter of speaking. You have, let's continue on. So basically, scripture says, be not ignorant anything in a great matter or small. So that video was basically a pony show, man. You know what I mean? It was a pony show. Be not ignorant in anything, great matters or small. Be not ignore and be not ignorant in general, man. Relate to what's going on. That being said, this is something short relating to news. I hope this helps relating to information. This continuation relating to certain matters. This is Zaya Wolf. All praise Yahweh Shem Yahshua B'Shem Rakakada Zaya Wolf Shalom.